Okay, thank you.
One second. Yeah, we're live.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Rotractor Srikara Kulkarni, President of Rotary Club of Yelahanka. And welcome to the Untold Chronicles, Episode 7. Here with us today, we have Colonel Dilip Sharma sir with us. And he'll be taking us through his journey and how his profession helped us training students and everything. And thank you.
Welcome everyone to yet another episode of Untold Chronicles presented to you by Rotary Club of Yelahanka. Today we have retired Colonel Dilip Sharma sir. He was commissioned in service between June 1980 to July 2011. He was part of many operations on the line of control for 8 years in Poonch, Siachen Glacier, etc. He was also part of many anti-insurgency operations in Anantnag, in Sonmarg, in Amarnath Yatra region, etc. As I told, he served Siachen Glacier for 2 years. He was also part of many counter-terrorist operations where he raised and conceptualized national security guards, that is NSG, and also he was part of many other operations. And he was also part of IPKF Operation Pavan, which is Indian Peacekeeping Force operation, which was planned against the LTT, commonly known as the Tamil Tigers. He was also instructor, Commando Wing Belgaum for 1991 to 93. He was GSO 1 Operational Intelligence Srinagar in May 1999. Post his retirement, icing on the cake, I can tell, certified independent director, International Coaching Federation certified coach. His master emotional intelligence. He's a corporate trainer. He's executive and leadership coach and mentor. So today, he'll be having a session of coaching minds to win. Trust me, people, this is just a gist which I gave about his achievements. Sir has insisted me not to talk much, respecting his views, probably wholeheartedly, and once again, respectfully welcome you, sir. And I'm eagerly waiting. We all are eagerly waiting. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Varun and Shrikara and Saurabh to have me over this. Hello, everyone. Good evening. So, you know me now. Today, the topic I have selected for you and to cover my untold chronicles is coaching to win. Basically, what is happening is this basic aspect, if we can all get it in our minds and our personalities, then you can prevail and thrive, not survive, thrive in any environment anyway. So let us see what is coaching to win. First of all, let's take the word coaching. What exactly is coaching? Normally, coaching is associated with tutorials and tuitions. And believe you me, that's a big, big market. And parents are fed up of it, the amount of money that you spend. The coaching that I'm talking of here is something very, very different. Coaching basically means you build convictions. Now, what is a conviction? Conviction is a strong belief. What is a belief? Belief is, I am a Hindu, so I believe there is Ram, there is a Hanuman, there is Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. I'm a Christian. I believe there is Christ. I'm a Muslim. I believe there is an Allah. Nothing can shake that. But is there really one? I don't know. But that is what my belief is. That is what my conviction is. So coaching is to create such beliefs in your mind, which then help you to win. So basically, we are addressing the mind here. Now let us see what is win. And before I go to that, I also want to tell you what is the difference between coaching, as I have just mentioned to you, and various other forms of education, training, skills training, coaching as in tutorials, coaching as in, let's say, sports coaching. Now, gaining knowledge and training the mind is done in a number of ways. When I don't have a particular knowledge, for example, I have been through Bangalore number of times. But if I have to go to Bangalore and know each and every nook and corner of Bangalore, I may have to take the help of Varun, Shirikara or Saurabh. They know better. So they will be educating me about things which I don't know. Now, this is education. Education is transmission of knowledge from a level of higher knowledge to something where there is no knowledge about a particular thing. That's education. Then you come to training. In training, we help you develop mind-body coordination to do a particular thing. So you can be a skilled software developer in Java. You could be a skilled software developer in Python. You could be a skilled data entry person. You could be a skilled welder. You could be a skilled artist. You could be a skilled driver, pilot, what have you. This is training, where we train your mind and body to act spontaneously, automatically. Then we have something known as counseling. Counseling is more psychological. Here we assess the person and the needs of the job, and we train a person to combine these two. So we make a person psychologically fit to take on a particular situation or do something. In this, we observe the person. We tell him what are his glitches, what are problems, not problems, what are the challenges he has, and how he can overcome them. This has to be done by very, very trained psychologists. Today, unfortunately, the market is full of dime a dozen so-called counselors and coaches who say, you come to me, I will deal with you. It's very dangerous because inadvertently, the person may read you wrong or may give you a solution which may not be suiting your personality. I would like to elaborate on this another 30 odd seconds. For example, I'm an army person. If I say something to someone and that person responds to me in a particular way, I think I can take it. So I will say, let's say some person has come and said, I've got this problem. I say, go and tell him that. However, the person I have told may be a very gentle man. His nature must be very gentle. He goes and does something which I have told him from my point of view. And when the reaction comes to him, he may not be able to take it at all. Therefore, counseling is a very specialized field. It needs trained psychologists. Do not please go to anyone who claims to be one. Now, these are the various ways in which you train your mind. Now we come to what is known as coaching. The term coaching is also used loosely as a combination of all this. For example, you have a badminton coach. We have had such fantastic badminton international players, and India has done wonders with these three girls, in fact, if you include Yola Gutta also. And their coach is a fantastic guy. What has he done? These ladies went to him with the belief that they can do it. They went to him with the desire to do it come hell water, happen what may. And what did he do? He gave them the skill sets, he developed their mind and body skills, he developed their reflexes, and he made them what they are. Fine? Now, this term is also used loosely for tuitions, coaching classes. Now we come ahead of this. Coaching, essentially, like I told you, is building convictions. Convictions, like I told you, I believe in Ram. If I believe in Ram, who told me there is Ram? I didn't read in a book. At home, when I saw my mother do Aarti prayer, or a Muslim boy saw the mother doing Azan or Namaz, or a Christian boy every Sunday went to the altar, to the church, he believed there is something here. Slowly, steadily, it became a part of his personality. Whenever he was in problem, he prayed, or he thought of something, and the problem probably went away. So he developed what are known as convictions. However, if you have to pass an interview, or clear an examination, or compete in the corporate with 10 other able competitors to get to the next appointment, how do you do it? Here again, you need a belief. The first belief you need is that I can do it, or this is not for me. Then you look for something else. Now, how do you train a mind to do this? And having believed ki yes, I am a Hindu or I can do this, I need the wherewithal within my mind psychologically and in my mind, convictions in my mind that will allow me to walk the talk, come what may. There will be obstacles, my competitors will throw mud at me, it'll go to be dirty and messy affair, but I should be able to prevail over this. Now, how do you do this part is what is coaching. So I say coaching is a process which builds convictions. How does it build convictions? Unlike counseling or psychology, I'm not going to suggest anything to you. I'm only asking, I will ask questions. I will ask questions and questions and questions. Questions for what? I will ask you questions to make you clear about what your aim is. What is it that you want? One. Number two, why is it that you want? Third, say why, when, where, when, how. By when do you want it? How do you want it? And when you're convinced that this is the desired outcome I want, this is what I want, then I walk you through only by questioning, how is it that you're going to do? Do you have the resources, internal and external, to do that? How are you going to deploy the resources? I may have a lot of resources and I put them on the table all at once. I may fail. How I'm going to deploy those resources, in what manner, in what phased manner? Do I understand my competition? Do I understand my challenge? And how do I go about it? Once these aspects are clear, then we help the person develop an action plan. Now notice over here, in this entire process, a coach does not suggest that you do this or do that. Why is it? We do this because we want you to be clear whether you want to have this conviction or not, whether you want to do it or not. One. Number two, by asking you why and why not, we ensure that you know that you want it so badly that you will do it under any circumstances, in any environment. That's the second part. And third part, we hit you with reality. Do you have the resource to do it? Internally, for example, everyone wants to replace Modi, wants to become politician. Everyone wants to replace Trump. But look at the brickbats being thrown at them. Do you have the psychological strength to take it? Just imagine. So, do you have the internal resources to take it? Similarly, do you have the external resources? Do you have the money to fight election? Do you have the gumption to be able to raise so many votes? So these are internal and external resources. So we hit you with reality. So if no, then we go back to the same process again to ask you, what is it that you want? Your desired outcome has to be very clear. So once we help you get clarity, then we take you to your action plan. And then later we help you and walk you through your action plan over a period of 3 months. Normally, you need about 15 days to make a habit. Or you need at least 90 days to convert a habit into a conviction. But this habit to conviction journey has to go over. This journey has to go over trial. It has to go over all the kind of challenges that you can possibly imagine and walk yourself through that. So that when the reality hits you, you're prepared. And you know, this is okay, this happens. Now let's come to the other word. This is coaching. Coaching to win. What is winning? This word itself is a very nebulous thing in many ways. It is not winning a cricket match. When we say winning a cricket match, what is the aim? The aim is very clear. There's a trophy. There are a set of rules. We follow the rules. We make more runs than the other, and we win the trophy. How clearly this is defined? In football or any other game, you score more goals and you win the trophy. However, in life, winning is directly related to two things. One is, what is your aim? And secondly, do you have the conviction for it? After college, in the corporate, after every 2 years, after 10 years, I coached a person who, after almost 22 years, was a lost person. We had a person who always thought. I'll digress a little and give an example of this. I'll not name the company or the people, for it is a very confidential process. There was a gentleman, a very senior manager. He used to officiate as the VP whenever the VP was on leave or out of station. But when the VP moved out and the vacancy fell vacant and the position fell vacant, the company did not appoint him. For 6 years, this man had been officiating as the VP whenever the VP was away. The entire ecosystem in that company felt he is the guy, the best man to take over, and it was expected that he will take over. In his mind, he made it his aim that I will be the VP. But when the VP post fell vacant, they did not appoint him. They got a VP from outside. The man was shattered. So he came to me. His question was, what happened to me? What did I do wrong? So we will connect with this slightly later. The gentleman's aim was wrong. He wanted to be the VP aim. Did he have it in him? Did he demonstrate it? Obviously, they say 6 years he had been officiating, so he had it in him. Did he demonstrate it? Did he stop to ask? Did he stop to assess what the VP, how the company was viewing the previous VP? Did he stop to see how the company, what the company expects from the job? He was a very popular senior manager, very popular. All team managers across board, across domains liked him. And he was efficient, he produced. To survive 6 years in a competitive IT firm is no joke. So, here what happened? He had an aim which he had not thought through. He had an aim for which he had not thought what is it that the company wants. Because that aim was not his alone. It was not I become a VP and then I go and open my own company. It was a VP in a company. What does the company want of the VP position, that post? He did not think of that. So, aim. Getting clarity on your aim is highly, highly, highly important. So, we help you develop that aim. Once you have the aim, then all this process comes in. Do you have the conviction to go for it? You must have the stomach to go for it. We all want to be big things in life. But the moment trouble starts, the moment the challenges start, we suddenly blank off. And we say, no, I didn't expect this. Obviously, we did not think through our aim correctly. Okay, so my title is Coaching to Win. And I shall combine this with a lot of examples from the service, my own experience, and from the civil that I would like to bring out over here. So I shall conduct this. I got about 9 points. First of all, I've already defined to you what coaching is. That was the first part. And I've defined what does it mean to win. Okay. Basically, to win means to prevail over. There is a set of circumstances and I want that. There is competition. I have to prevail over, number one, myself. I have to prevail over myself. Then I have to prevail over the circumstances. Then I have to prevail over the competition and get it. Now that is winning. Okay. Now, and this has to be done over all odds. There will be odds. Competition is going to throw whatever it can to gain advantage. After all, competition is competition. In the army, we call competition enemy. The parallels are same. When I shifted from the army to the corporate, I realized the game is same. Only difference is there are no bullets or bombs flying over here, and there's no territory to be captured. Just replace the word enemy with competition, and you have it. You call it marketing, you call it interviews, you call it company profiles, you call it the stock market. It is the same. It's a bloodbath. There is no difference. The process of winning is the same. Okay. Now, let's go to another thing. What is it that we need to be prepared for? As I understand from Varun Shekara that I have spoken, most of my audience is going to be within the age group of, let's say, between 20s and 30s and maybe early 40s. So I want to bring it over here. Can you always have an aim to prepare for? Can I always be prepared for something and then go ahead? Do I need to map my life like that? Impossible. So what do? I need to be prepared for anything and everything. So how do I coach my mind to be prepared for anything and everything? In the army, I cannot say when we went to Sri Lanka and we were ambushed we didn't have a clear aim. Now it is history. We didn't have a clear aim. Initially, we were to attack. Then we were told, no, we have 10 million brothers over there. You can't attack. Then say, what do we do? What is it that you want us to do? Army is a political tool. Is a tool of statecraft. Is a weapon. We do what is told. They said, okay, you go there and maintain peace. So we knew, okay, LTT boys who were trained with us, we trained LTT boys. I myself trained them. We knew them. They're good friends. All these guys are there. They know the area. So, I mean, they're already trained. They're maintaining peace. What more do I do? So we went there to maintain peace. Then things went wrong and the LTT went against the government of India and a lot of players came in. A lot of things happened. And then the Indian army was kept there doing what? Waiting for a political solution to come. What went wrong? The aim went wrong. Army has to be told clear. Army is trained for a very different, it's a very clinical tool. This guy is enemy, go kill. And army will go and do it. But if you say go and check who he is and then observe and then if he is enemy, then you kill, that is police work. They're very two different things. So the aim probably went wrong. So at that time, the LTT fought a very different, they fought with what is known as the guerrilla warfare. We trained them on that. However, the regular Indian army was not taught that kind of a thing. The regular Indian army was taught to fight the way they have just fought in the Galwan Valley. There is the enemy, go kill. If they have done this, you also go and kill. You prevail. So a lot of people started shouting, no, this is unconventional war. You can't do this. How can you not do this? He is enemy. He will do everything possible to prevail over me. I have got to be ready to prevail over him under any circumstances. How do I train myself for that? Am I making sense now? A person is an HR. He's an HR in a particular IT or whatever. Tomorrow he gets a much better job in a bank, in a manufacturing company. Will he say, no, I'm not prepared for this? The environment is different. People are different. The working atmosphere is hugely different. Big data. Big data is used in everything today. Python is being used in everything today. So a person moves from a financial field to an HR field to some other field to an engineering field. He says, I can't do it. No, it's just software. So we got to be prepared for, and how do you do that? That is where coaching comes in. Okay. Now, let's see how. How is this done? First of all, it's a process which takes about 2.5 to 3 hours. We start with helping the person know himself. So first of all, my questions will be about the person. What is it that you want? Not individual, not personal questions. The coaching sessions are highly impersonal. Neither will I want my impressions to come into your mind, nor will I take personal impressions from you. A coach doesn't become personal at all. This is the ethics number 1. So we help the person know himself better. So the questions go like, what is it that you want? What is how will you describe your basic strength? What are your challenges? What have you done till now? What all challenges have you faced? What did you do with those challenges? Why were you not able to overcome those challenges? So what we are doing is basically we are asking questions. Okay, we help the person know about himself. Then we ask the person to know about the opposition. That is after the aim has been clear. And then, like I told you, we help him understand the environment and plan through the whole thing. After he has got this, we help him develop an action plan. So this is the manner in which we get the whole thing done. There are 2-3 things over here when it comes to the preparation of a person to develop the conviction. First of all is the most important thing is clarity. Many of us have this problem have this challenge of not having a clear idea of what I am and what is that I want. What is my opposition? What is my strength? Clarity. So the first thing when you want to prepare for anything is getting clarity. I like to share a small anecdote over here. Not anecdote, a small experience. I went for one of my command courses in a very junior age. I was 4.5 years service when I had gone for this course, where the cutoff service bracket was 5 and above. So most of the people who came there came prepared. They had 1 year study and things like that. I was with National Security Guard at that time. It's 52 Special Action Group. So I was posted from there, and I went. I went unprepared, so I did not have the certificate saying yeah, I prepared. Plus, I did not have the requisite mandatory service. In my interactions, in my teaching SAN models, etc., one of my we call them directing staff, teachers, or professors, they asked me, very senior officer, he says, DK, you're here from National Security Guard, you've come unprepared. What is it that you want? I'd like you to pay attention to this. He said, what is it that you want from this course? What is it that you want to learn? My answer is what I would like to share with you. I got commissioned at 21 plus 4.5, so I was about 25. I said, sir, I want to be, because that time I had just gone from National Security Guard, and in 52 Special Action Group, I had raised the anti-hijack squadron. The biggest challenge was when you enter an aircraft, which has been hijacked, you see 128 faces if it's a 737, and only 1 or 2 of them are terrorists. How do you identify who's who? He knows you are coming. He can shoot, but you cannot shoot till you identify who it is. So I told my directing staff, I said, sir, from the course, what I want to get is, when I walk into an unknown situation, please mark this. When I walk into an unknown situation, my mind, my senses should be able to grab, understand, observe everything with it before the enemy does, or before my competition does. Number 1. Number 2, I want my mind to be trained in a manner that it starts computing and throwing solutions at me. And lastly, I want my mind to be trained in the melee of these solutions that I'm getting to select the best and the most probable solution. That is how you will deal with the unknown situation, which is unforeseen, and how prepare yourself to deal with that. All these words are very well said, isn't it? It sounds very nice, but how do you do that? So how do we do it in the army? I will come to that. They're again basic, same questions, same thing again and again. It is how you practice it. Number one is get information. Wherever you want to go, gain knowledge about you. Firstly, you must know yourself. Gain knowledge about the opposition. Gain knowledge about your target, your aim, your company, if you're going for an interview, your boss. What does the company want? Like I told you the example of this company, this senior manager who came to me. What went wrong? He did not stop to think what the company wants of that position. So get clarity of your aim, your target. You must know yourself. So you must know whether do I fit into that place or not. Then you should be able to overcome a number of things. First of all, to deal with the unknown, there is always a factor of fear. There is this insecurity of the unknown. Always. I've been through enough operations to know that there is always fear. Anyone who tells you I'm not scared is either mad or a Gurkha, in the words of Sam Manekshaw, but he's mad or he's lying. Reason, fear is a very important natural phenomenon. Nature gave us fear to protect ourselves. So fear is natural. How do you overcome it? Overcoming fear is to know the reason for your fear. So the first thing is get information. Get knowledge. What is it? The environment, the opposition, the aim. That is the first thing. Moment you have that knowledge, you are very strong. Second, and a very, very important factor after what has happened in Ladakh and what you hear on the WhatsApp and all this nonsense that's happening is emotion. Dealing with your emotion is the very second important thing. When you overcome fear, either you go into a total exhilatory kind of a situation. You're very happy, oh, main chhodunga nahi, I will do this and I'll do that. You go into the Josh factor. Either you're afraid or you go to the other extreme. You're Josh. No, sir. We want you to be somewhere in between. So dealing with fear, that is why, along with fear, I've also mentioned emotion. This is a very, very important thing. Once these two things are captured or in your control, now what do you do? With all the planning, all the information that you've got, you start walking through each step of the plan that you want to do to achieve that goal. I'm giving it as a nut case, in a small, in a nut case. What you have to do is walk through the plan, whatever plan that you have made. How is it that you want to do it? Walk through. In your mind, you must, how is this done? In your mind, you think, okay, I'll start. When do I start? This day. By when do I want to achieve this? So when do I start? Normal process. What, why, where, when, how? Walk through it. Not once. Walk through 10 times, 14 times. In operations, whenever I made a plan, I would torture myself for 3 nights, 4 nights, or for 4 hours, or for 2 hours. Think. Make a plan. After the plan is done, take a break. If you have time, sleep over it. The mind is a beautiful CPU. Next morning, it will give you good solutions. But you should have thought over it. When you think over it, you have laid information in the mind to deal with. The data is there. So the mind is going to throw it around. And your conscience is going to kickstart. It will give you the solutions that you want, that are best for you. Sleep over it. Next morning, you become the opposition. Take a sledgehammer to your own plan. Be so cruelly critical of your own plan. You're the enemy of your own plan now. Do this 3 times. Then again, you become yourself. And again, now with the prior knowledge of whatever you have done, you do this again. This process crystallizes the correct idea, correct plan. Apart from this, the other things that you got to do is cater for the unforeseen contingencies. They may be weird. Ari, you should never come to a situation where say, I know that guy, he can now do this. No. You say, if he does it, then what will I do? That is preparation. So with this whole process, you will finally come, your plan will crystallize as to what is it that you want to do. Okay? And you can practice this. It has to be practiced and practiced and practiced. How do you practice it? I was talking to some of your Rotaract president and Varun and Shirika. They were saying we go for hikes. Yeah, when you go for hikes, don't give them a target. Say, where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? Why do you want to go? Why that place? Why not so another place? Okay, this is the beaten route. Is there any other route we can take? Look at your maps. Plan. You are training your mind. Basically, we want that process to cement in your mind so that if you come across an unknown situation, unforeseen circumstances, your mind, and you are in a fear is natural. Your mind starts saying, hold on, this is this, this is this, this is this, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. That has to be practiced again and again. Practice it in everything. You go for an interview, you think, okay, I don't know who the HR is. Who is the guy? Ask the previous interviewees, what kind of a chap is, what kind of questions have they asked? Go to the web, search the net, check the LinkedIn profile of the interviewer, check the company. So what's the company manufacturing? There are a lot of websites, Glassdoor, etc., etc. You go to them, find out what are the ups and downs and goods and bads of it. Now when you go into the interview, and then you assess yourself. Now you say, what is this guy looking for in me? And then say, what can I give him? So when you go into the interview and he says, the HR has no time. He says, okay, tell me about yourself. The common question, tell me about yourself. You start off, my father, my mother, my grandfather. Pointless. You just say, sir, your company is making this, I have this, I can offer this to your company. And this, my credentials are on your CV. Period. To give you a small example over here, after my command, I was, out of my 32 years, I spent almost 21 years in field areas. So I was desperate, family had suffered because of I was not home for my children when they were growing up. I'm an infantry officer. I was commissioned and commanded in the 4th Battalion, the 1st CHRONICLES. And when I came home, I asked for a posting near my home. I said, you do anything, give me anywhere. So I signed a dual career certificate. I got a posting in NCC, Aurangabad. I was group commander in NCC Aurangabad for 3 years. One day we had this deficiency of army officers, etc. We got a call from our directorate saying that DK, send us 2 names of cadets, senior wing cadets, engineering or otherwise, whom we will allow them to appear for the SSV direct. No UPSC exam. That's a very big thing. Because the UPSC exam is not a very tough exam, but then if you are not prepared, it is tough. So we sent a message to all battalions. That time we had 13 districts of Marathwada. If you look at the map of Maharashtra, we had 13 districts under my group. And I had 9 battalions. I was the group commander. So I sent a frantic message to everyone, there's a good opportunity, send boys, whoever want to, and why should my group lose out on such an opportunity? And I got 200 odd men there, boys. They came by bus, train, they came overnight, they stayed there. Next day morning, between 9 and 5 o'clock, out of this, I had to interview 200 and select 2. How do I do that? And they will be going straight to the SSV. And if they get rejected in the SSV interview, then I will be blamed what kind of people you selected. Now, how do I interview 200 people? And when I ask them any questions, I'm sure they're going to go out and they're all going to question each other and they're going to say the same thing. So by then, the last person is going to be benefited by all my questions. After all, how many questions can I ask? So I said, what do we ask? So I asked all of them just one question. Hi, how are you? How did you come here? How did you come? So I got lots and lots of answers. I came by walk, I climbed the stairs, I came by rickshaw, I came by bus, I came by train, I lived behind, all kinds of answers. I got the complete answers only from 2. And those 2 also passed the SSV. And the complete answers were so complete that I had no other question to ask them. That is officer material. Why? Because he had realized what a stupid, silly question this is. I deliberately let it be like that. I allowed ambiguity to creep into my question. Dealing with unforeseen circumstances, dealing with the unknown is dealing with ambiguity. I deliberately infused ambiguity into my question. How did you come here? They were right. I came here by rickshaw. I came here by train. I came here. They're right. But who dealt with ambiguity? He must also said, here's a guy who's called me. I waited for 5 hours, and he's asking me, rickshaw mein aaya ya bus mein aaya? He said, no, there has to be something more to the question. So he answered. Now that is an officer material. That is a guy with a clear head in his head. That is a guy who's willing to deal with ambiguity. That is a guy who will prevail. Got my point? So this is how we deal with the unforeseen and the unknown. Apart from this, it is also necessary to know, once you're prepared with all this, how are you going to conduct it? So walking through, like I said, is a very important part. And in walking through, you should be able to cater for all the unforeseen circumstances, which means you should have reserves of what? Energy. You should have resource reserves, and all these things so that you are able to deal with that. Finally, you achieve your aim. What next? Achieving an aim is only 1/3 of it. Staying there and being capable of that and being known for that is the thing. So there you have to ask yourself, what after? What is it for me? How do I deal with the opposition? The opposition is still there. They're lost and they're there. Do you include them? Do you push them away? And the environment. You have prevailed over the environment. You have to immediately give back something to the environment so that the environment welcomes you. Okay. So basically, this is the way of coaching to win. In the army, we do this in a very different way. We make your focus clear, whether it is recruitment or you're in NDA or IMA. We ensure that your focus is one and it is singular and it is not digressed. How do we build the rest of it? We give you every day. We put you into a focus. You've got a class A, you've got to do this, blah, blah, blah. And in case you face challenges, we then become ruthless with you. So if your cycle is punctured or you have something else, we say you carry the cycle and run, you very well be there on time. Once you reach there, you say, no, this went wrong. We are not ready. We don't want lessons. We don't want reasons. You lost, period. You could not reach a point at a particular time in the manner that was expected. Now, whether you did not sleep the previous night to check whether the uniform was right, bike was right, and you had studied or not, that's your business, not our business. The continual practice of this is what makes a leader. This is what makes the winning syndrome in your head, conviction in your head. The same thing is done with Jawans. There are no excuses ever expected. The more you bleed in peace, the more you sweat in peace, the less you bleed in war. It's simple. Your mind and body are so trained to take on anything. That is the manner in which we do it. So I would end there. It's been a long process. I think I've taken a lot of time. And if there are any questions, I'll be willing to explain. There are lots and lots of examples of this, which I can cover during the process of, in case required. Yes, over to you.
Thank you so much, sir. I think you were very clear in elaborating how crystal clear the plan should be and how bang on you should be on your aim. I have a question. One question. You spoke about fear and how to control the emotions. When you talk about emotions, there is one part of emotion, I can call it an evil itself, which is ego. So how do you even control ego to achieve your aim?
Very good question. Very, very good question. Ego is a necessary thing. We consider ego evil, which is not. Without ego, you won't have ambition. Ambition again has become a dirty word. No. Aspiration. You must have aspirations in life. A child has an aspiration to grow up. A child wears the shoes of the father or does things because he or she has that aspiration. Ego is a very important thing. Child and alter ego are bad. A child ego does not consider all these factors that I have told you. Clarity, the child ego doesn't want clarity. They just want a thing, they say, mujhe ye chahiye. A child wants a toy, he will lie down on the road, in the middle of the road, he will start crying, doing anything. He is not interested in anything else that's happening. Alter ego, he will not bother what is happening to his employees or his company. He wants that profit, he'll very well get it. Happen what may. Now, both these are destructive. In one case, luckily, the child ego has parents and parentage, etc., to take care of it. The alter ego can be very dangerous to the organization. So, ego is necessary. For both fear and ego, the thing that takes care of it or controls it is knowledge, knowledge, knowledge. Moment I know about something, when I went to the glacier first time in 1984, actually we set up the actual ground position line. We were there, I was a mountaineer otherwise, so we went up there in 1984, we went up in normal uniform that the army had at that time. Today there are special clothing and things like that. We even took up cigarettes and liquor. Today they don't let you drink and breathe, smoke over there because oxygen is as it is less. Both alcohol removes oxygen from the blood, and your smoke in any case damages your lungs. Those days they give it to us. They Jai Hind, Bharat Mata ki Jai. So we went up. And there was no one on the glacier. Pakistanis were coming from the other side, we were going from this side. We do not know what it is there. It is unknown. But we knew 2-3 things. We had the confidence that I will survive. Now, what is this confidence? Confidence is you know what your physical standard is. You know I can go up to this place, where it is not possible, then I will see what is to be done. I'm carrying that oxygen cylinder with me. My men are there. How many of, we had a quick calculation in our mind, how many of them can ever fall sick together? So, and what else has to be done so that you don't fall into a crevasse or something? You have to be careful. So we said we will cater for that. It was a conviction. It was a belief. This belief helps us move on. When you go for mountain, you don't know what it is. So you start reading the maps. You start knowing where are the crevasses. You know what are the heights. You know how are the slopes, where you got to move fast, where you got to slow down, where you got to use technical rope and technical equipment, where you got to fix rope. So this is what gives you. Second, ego. When you're moving in a team, you know every member is important. In December 84, the 31st December 84 and January 85, we went to Siala to put the flag. Siala is the topmost point of Siachen Glacier. On 15th August, 14th August, Pakistanis come from the other side, they put the flag. Those days, okay, I do not know now. Now, that is a 80 kilometer, 70 odd kilometer direct crow fly trek on the glacier. We didn't have intermediate camps except 2 camps in those days. So we carried everything. Khana, pina for 15, 20 days were kerosene basically, because water means you have to melt ice. We carried our own packs. They gave us porters, the men said, ki, nahi, sab, aapka ek main leta, we will distribute your load. We said, no. Ego. My ego helped me. It's not that, Varun, I was not scared. I was pretty well scared. I didn't know what will happen. But I said, I will do it. I had that conviction. I was not sure whether I'll be able to lift that 30 plus kg pack for 80 kilometers starting from 10,000 to 19,000 feet. But the aspiration in me, the ego in me told me, I have to put the flag there. I want to be that guy. That overcame both the things. And ego here helped me. Because 2 Vikas is the name of the battalion that I was with that time. They remember me even today. They're retired. They're all Tibetans basically, and they are genetically different. I am a Punjabi. My father was in the Air Force. I brought up in Maharashtra. I was born in Hyderabad, Nilofer Hospital. I am not genetically made to live in those altitudes. But my aspiration was to put the flag there, to be the guy. And allowing my men to carry my load was something which I just couldn't accept. Now that is a winning attitude. I'll give you another example here. We came to a place called Camp 3. It was an assault camp, and Camp 3 was a place where they dumped everything. The Air Force would come and dump the stores over there for all patrols that are moving up. I was a very strict officer when I was a second lieutenant. Very strict. If I saw anyone with a lanyard which was twisted or shoelaces which were twisted, I would punish him. I was very strict. Then in 84, I went to this place, and there I met a Jawan whose goggles had broken. He had been on that place for the last 3 months. He hadn't taken bath. His toothbrush and brush got over in the first 1 month. He had no soap. He was living there all alone. The place Galwan Valley, if you look, go west of it, is the Siachen Glacier. Midway through, there is one man in 80 kilometers, in almost 50 kilometers, because the previous post was behind. But ahead of him, there was nothing, all alone, sitting with what? 100 barrels of kerosene and all other khana pina. His goggles had broken. His eyes were like cricket balls. He had cut slits because of the snow blindness. He has cut slits in the paper, in the cigarette case, and he was using that to reduce the glare of his eyes. When I reached there, he welcomed me as if I'm a long lost friend. Obviously, he saw a human being after so long, maybe. But then he would take my pack and he would say, "Chai piyo saab, this, that." I said, "Beta, you please take care of yourself first." He says, "No, sir, I am fine." The will to prevail. He said, "This weather will not shoot me down." I remember that gentleman till today. Ego, his aspiration. He says, "I am a tough guy. I will not bend to this." He said, "Right." So ego and fear, they are natural. They are not bad. If you allow them to grip you and do irresponsible things, obviously. See, I hope that answers you. Okay.
Yes, sir. We have one question from our YouTube.
Yeah.
Yes. So if you have this question is from Rajiv. I just want to reframe it.
Yeah, please.
He wants to know if you have a plan in place and if you have a right aim. What if you go through the plan if you don't achieve the aim? Because generally we tend to work towards our aim, and if you don't achieve the aim, we probably get into depression. And so his question is how to take care of your mental health if
Yes.
you're not achieving your aim.
Very, very important. And this is a very major thing. It's a very major thing. Sometimes, I hope Rajiv is listening to me. Sometimes what happens, Rajiv, we get so obsessed with our plan, with our aim, that we do not think anything beyond that. Essential part of every plan is what if not? The question is, what if not? That you must plan, you must have an alternate plan for everything. Why? Not because you don't want to achieve that. Someone may counter me, it is automatically against what you're saying. You're saying have a plan, have a conviction. And here you're saying what if not? No. That's an alternate plan because you will take a step back to hit back again. Are you getting me? So what if not is a very important thing. This is one question, one part of the answer. This is another part. The reason you have failed is that you have not thought through clearly. And I have been stressing, just if you go back, you will notice I've been stressing on internal resources, internal resources, internal resources. What is your internal resource? Your internal resource is asking you, do I have it in me? I'm not talking of money here. I'm not talking of wherewithal. I'm not talking of connections. I'm not talking of anything material. I'm talking of your psyche. I'm talking about if it doesn't happen, and en route while you are trying to achieve that, competition becomes very strong and hits you hard. Will you be able to take it and go ahead? So the plan, the aim was right. The plan was wrong. The plan did not cater for these things. And at every stage, you must have what if not. If not this, then I will come back to this point and reorganize myself with the experience I have, and I'll get back. Are you getting me? That has to be very clear. If this is clear, then there will be no failure. And also, like I kept saying, contingencies, contingencies, contingencies. Contingencies, what can go wrong? What can go wrong? What can go? I have to get over what can go wrong. There is never a single solution to the same thing. You solve a problem today, you undertake and overcome a challenge today. Tomorrow, the same challenge will pose new issues. So, to a short answer for this, have your aim correct, one. Secondly, plan on what if not. And most important, plan meticulously for everything that can go wrong. I hope that answers, Rajiv. Okay.
Considering time, we'll take one last question, sir.
Yeah.
So when you are planning individually towards an aim, the plan will be completely different. But if you have group of people and group of mind, and you as a leader, how differently should be the plan and how differently you should aim?
Good. So when you are working in a team, I hope that's what you mean. I think that's what you mean. When you're working in a team, it is very clear to understand what are the aspirations of the team. First, even before you start. And your team will have to be convened accordingly. You cannot have a team where one member says, what the hell are we doing? That person is not part of your team then. So you don't make a team and then have an aim. You have an aim and you constitute a team around it. It's not the reverse. If it is the reverse, then you have people with common interests working together. Like everyone wants to go for a trek. Okay, good, we go for a trek. So where do we want to go? Now there could be diversions. Someone wants to go there, someone. Fine, good enough. Now the leader has to first see how much can each member of the team walk? How much degree of difficulty can they take? What's the comfort level everyone is expecting? Your aim will have to be suited to this. If it isn't, then obviously you're going to. Clear? Okay. Anything else? I've taken up a lot of time. I guess I spoke a lot. And I hope it makes sense.
Not, sir. Definitely not. I think we were very clear because we have an upcoming team which is coming in. So I think you gave us the right view wherein we have to plan things properly, and also your plan should be crystal and clear for your aim. I think I personally, and I think everyone in the panel also will agree that we want to further collaborate with you for many other trainings for all the team members and everyone, because we are at some point of an age where the training and the way you have to be molded will be very much important, as I feel. I thank you very much wholeheartedly once again for making
Welcome, Varun. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Varun, Shrikara, and Saurabh, and everyone else watching, thank you very much for having me on the program.
Thank you so
and
much.
Should anyone want any such help, you're welcome. It is pro bono.
Sure, sir.
These days I'm retired, so I'm having a nice time. It is pro bono.
Yeah.
All the best. Bye.
Shrikara will give us final remarks and then we can end it.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. It was wonderful having you here with us today. And thank you so much for being very clear and giving us a depth knowledge about what you're clear on. So in spite of going on a surface, you made sure that you go into the depth and details of it and explain us the same thing in the core. So we'd like to thank you for that, and thank you for answering all the questions. And we would like to host you for a few upcoming, speaker sessions also. And we would like to, tap on other topics that you had given us options on. So maybe some leadership training and things like that. And we would love to hear from you about your experiences in defense and the challenges that you face there. And yes, that would inspire us more, which what I feel. So yes, I would like to thank all the audience for watching us, and thanks the whole team. And thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Vikram. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
All the best. You can call me anytime. I'm available. All
Definitely,
the best.
sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thanks a lot. So thank you, guys. Happy weekend. And next week we'll be coming up with another speaker. So stay tuned. We'll be releasing the speaker and his posters soon. So yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Bye.